Right. I understand that,
Yep.
and I understand, but my question was not about the idea, and I'm not challenging the
Yeah.
idea that that the military makes every effort to avoid civilian casualties. What I'm most curious about is that this statement said the suspicion that militants are operating nearby does not justify strikes, and the military has said that it was called in because the Afghans asked for it. But MSF says that they had been given the coordinates, much in the same way the IDF had been given the coordinates of the school in Rafah. So the question is, and I realize this is under investigation, but the question is, if the question is, if the suspicion that militants are operating nearby does not justify strikes on a humanitarian facility for which the coordinates had been given, that it seems to have changed.
It's just, look, Matt, I think it's safe to say that, you know, this attack, this bombing was not intentional. I can't get into what may or may not have happened on the ground, whether the coordinates were known, whether they were acknowledged. It's just too much speculation at this point. So
Okay.
you'll hopefully give me a pass if we wait for the
Well,
investigation to run its
okay,
course.
and that's fine. I understand it. But in the case of the Rafa situation, you called for a full and prompt investigation of this incident, as well as others
Right.
like it. That statement began by saying that the U.S. is appalled by the disgraceful shelling. That's before an investigation had even happened. So, can you say now, knowing what you did, that this shelling of this hospital was disgraceful and appalling?
Again, I would only just reiterate our sincere condolences to the victims of this attack, and just again underscore the fact that we're going to investigate this thoroughly. And as I said, once those investigations are complete, we're going to take steps to either to hold any responsible parties accountable, or to take measures that avoid any kind of accident like this in the future.
All right, last one.
Yeah, please.
This has nothing to do with that statement. I
Yeah.
just want to know, on the diplomatic front, has there been any contact between you guys and the Afghans about this, or is it being handled entirely military to military?
Unclear to me, but imagine simply from our embassy to the Afghan government, I would imagine there has been contact, that not from the secretary.
Okay.